Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight. I'm Frank Pereira, and before we begin with the headlines, let's take a look at an appeal that we would like to make to you. Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and your face regularly, and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. And now let's bring you the headlines. Finance Minister unveils 73,000 crore rupees plan to stimulate consumer demand. Measures include interest-free loans to states, festival advance of 10,000 rupees and cash vouchers in lieu of LTC for central employees. Prime Minister Narendra Modi releases 100 rupee commemorative coin on the birth anniversary of Rajmata Vijayaraja Scindia. Describes Rajmata's dedication to the nation building as an inspiration for the youth today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 44 strategically important bridges to the nation in sensitive areas close to India's borders. Coronavirus cases fall below the 9 lakh mark for the fourth day in a row. Recovery rate goes up to 86.35%. Health Minister appeals to the people to stay away from large congregations and follow COVID-19 guidelines during festive season. For their work on improving the way auctions work, Americans Paul R. Milgrom and Robert B. Wilson awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics for 2020. Well, let's begin with our top focus in the bulletin this evening. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday announced several measures to increase consumer spending and spur demand. She also announced a 12,000 crore rupees interest-free 50-year loan to states for spending on capital projects to boost the economy. The economic stimulus is aimed at increasing demand by 73,000 crore rupees in a fiscally prudent way. Here's a detailed report.
The centre announced two schemes on Monday to incentivize consumer spending and boost India's GDP as part of a fresh economic revival push amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced 10,000 rupees interest-free festival advance to all its officers and employees. The festival advance was discontinued from the 7th Pay Commission for central government employees. It will be given this time as a one-time measure for all the officers and employees of the central government.
So in the 7th Pay Commission, there was no provision for festival advance. We are reviving it. We are reviving it just this one time. And this time we are giving 10,000 rupees for all central government employees, irrespective of their position, rank, gazetted, non-gazetted, it doesn't matter, 10,000 rupees. And this will be given as a prepaid RuPay card. So a prepaid RuPay card will be given to them. It's an interest-free advance. You will be able to use it for any festival up to 31st March 2021.
Government employees get leave travel concession in a block of 4 years, one each to a destination of choice and hometown, or two for hometown. The government announced that the central government employees who are eligible to claim LTC will be able to avail leave encashment benefits in lieu of travel expenses.
They could spend that money in buying something of their choice. So the amount which is given to them as per their government rules, their rank, their position, their whatever, is now brought to 3 different slabs. And they are flat rate slabs, which is equivalent to the travel ticket, the round ticket that they would get. And that, which will continue to be tax-free, will have to be spent on items which have 12% or more GST tax levied on them. You will spend them only in a digital mode, no cash transactions, and you will spend them only on GST registered places which sell such goods or provide such service.
The centre will strengthen investment measures by spending an extra 25,000 crore rupees on roads, ports and defence projects. It will further offer 12,000 crore in interest-free 50-year loans to state governments for spending on infrastructure before March 31st, 2021. Sitharaman also projected that with 50% states opting for the scheme, the government expects to infuse 9,000 crore rupees into the economy.
The northeast states alone will get 1,600 crores, which means the 8 northeast states will get 200 crores each for the next 50 years without interest. And Uttarakhand and Himachal will get 450 crore each for the next 50 years without interest. That's part 1, totaling 2,500 crores. Part 2 of this 12,000 crore that we are announcing will relate to all other states which are not covered in the part 1, which is the 8 northeastern states and 2, Uttarakhand and Himachal. So the rest of them are getting covered in this. This has a total of 7,500 crores, which will be divided in proportion to the share that they have as per the Finance Commission's devolution.
Earlier, the government had unveiled relief measures undertaken in tranches as part of the 20 lakh crore economic package announced by Prime Minister Modi for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, moving on to other significant news now. In the boost to border connectivity, 44 bridges built by the Border Roads Organization were inaugurated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Reiterating the government's commitment to boost development activities in border areas, he said that progress of all projects is regularly being monitored and adequate funds are being provided for their timely execution.
Heralding in a new era in the connectivity of roads and bridges in sensitive areas close to western, northern and northeastern borders, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Monday dedicated 44 bridges built in 7 states to the nation. Built in strategically important areas of Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir, these bridges will help the armed forces in ensuring quick movement of troops and weapons and fulfill the aspirations of the local people.
और इनके निर्माण से हमारी पश्चिमी, उत्तरी और साथ ही साथ नॉर्थ ईस्ट के दूर दराज के इलाकों में मिलिट्री और सिविल ट्रांसपोर्ट में निश्चित रूप से बड़ी सुविधा मिलेगी। और मैं यह भी मानता हूं कि हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के जवान बड़ी संख्या में ऐसे इलाकों में तैनात होते हैं जहां पूरे साल ट्रांसपोर्ट की सुविधा उपलब्ध नहीं हो पाती है। आर्म्ड फोर्सेस की सामरिक आवश्यकता हो या अन्य विकास के काम, इन्हें पूरा करने में ऐसे पुलों और सड़कों की समान और एक अहम भूमिका होती है।
Inaugurating the bridges, Singh referred to the situation along India's borders with Pakistan and China. He said under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is not only tackling these crises strongly, but is also bringing major and historical changes in all these areas.
पहले पाकिस्तान और अब चीन के द्वारा भी मानो एक मिशन के तहत सीमा पर विवाद पैदा किया जा रहा है। इन दोनों देशों के साथ हमारी लगभग 7,000 किलोमीटर की सीमा मिलती है, जहां किसी न किसी सेक्टर में आए दिन तनाव बना रहता है। इतनी समस्याओं के बावजूद हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल और दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व में यह देश न केवल इन संकटों का दृढ़ता के साथ सामना कर रहा है, बल्कि सभी क्षेत्रों में बड़े और ऐतिहासिक बदलाव भी ला रहा है।
Singh complimented the Border Roads Organization for working tirelessly even during the coronavirus-triggered lockdown period. He also symbolically laid the foundation stone of the Nechifued Tunnel in Arunachal Pradesh at the virtual event.
नवीनतम तकनीकी और आधुनिक उपकरणों का प्रयोग करते हुए पिछले 2 वर्षों के दौरान 2200 किलोमीटर से अधिक सड़कों की कटिंग की गई है। यह एक अपने में मिसाल है और साथ ही लगभग 4200 किलोमीटर लंबी सड़कों की सरफेसिंग भी की गई है और लगभग 5800 मीटर अस्थायी पुलों का निर्माण किया गया है। लॉकडाउन की अवधि के दौरान भी बॉर्डर रोड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने उत्तर पूर्वी राज्यों उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल प्रदेश और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख में निरंतर कार्य किया है। दूर दराज के स्थानों पर स्नो क्लियरेंस में देरी न हो, यह सुनिश्चित करते हुए बॉर्डर रोड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने अपना काम सदैव जारी रखा है।
8 of these bridges are in Ladakh. Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh, that share a border with China, have 8 new bridges. Another 10 of these bridges are in Jammu and Kashmir and will improve road connectivity to the line of control with Pakistan. 4 of these bridges are in Sikkim and Punjab. The remaining 2 bridges that are open to the public now are in Himachal Pradesh. These bridges are built at a cost of 286 crore rupees. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the 7th round of India-China high-level military talks are being held in Chushul on the Indian side of the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. The Indian delegation is led by Lieutenant General Harinder Singh, the commander of the Leh-based 14 Corps, and includes Naveen Srivastava, Joint Secretary East Asia in the Ministry of External Affairs. The talks are being held to finalize a roadmap for disengagement of troops from all the friction points in eastern Ladakh. Close to 1 lakh Indian and Chinese troops are deployed in the region. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid glowing tributes to one of the founding leaders of the BJP, Rajya Scindia, on her 100th birth anniversary. Releasing a commemorative coin to honor her legacy, Prime Minister Modi said Scindia was a decisive leader and an able administrator.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi released a special 100 rupee coin to honor the legacy of Rajya Scindia, founder leader of the ruling BJP, on her 100th birth anniversary. Paying rich tributes to Rajmata Scindia, as she was fondly called, Prime Minister Modi said she was one of the key political figures who showed direction to the country in the last century.
आजादी से पहले विदेशी वस्त्रों की होली जलाने से लेकर आपातकाल और राम मंदिर आंदोलन तक राजमाता के अनुभवों का व्यापक विस्तार रहा है। राजमाता ने साबित किया कि जनप्रतिनिधि के लिए राजसत्ता नहीं, जनसेवा सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है।
Prime Minister Modi added that Rajya Scindia's dream of a strong, secure and prosperous India will be fulfilled by realizing Atmanirbhar Bharat.
नारी शक्ति के बारे में तो वो विशेष तौर पर कहती थी कि जो हाथ पालने को झुला सकते हैं वह विश्व पर राज भी कर सकते हैं। आज भारत की यही नारी शक्ति हर क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ रही है, देश को आगे बढ़ा रही हैं। आज भारत की बेटियां फाइटर जेट्स उड़ा रही हैं, नेवी में युद्धक की भूमिकाओं में अपनी सेवाएं दे रही हैं।
Prime Minister Modi praised Scindia for giving up a life of comfort to fight for her idols and serving people. He said her life is an inspiration for the coming generations.
राष्ट्र के भविष्य के लिए राजमाता ने अपना वर्तमान समर्पित कर दिया था। देश की भावी पीढ़ी के लिए उन्होंने अपना हर सुख त्याग दिया था। राजमाता ने पद और प्रतिष्ठा के लिए न जीवन जिया, न कभी वो राजनीति का रास्ता चुना। आर्टिकल 370 खत्म करके देश ने उनका बहुत बड़ा सपना पूरा किया है और ये भी कितना अद्भुत संयोग है कि राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर निर्माण के लिए उन्होंने जो संघर्ष किया था, उनकी जन्म शताब्दी के साल में ही उनका ये सपना भी पूरा हुआ है।
Union Culture Minister Prahlad Singh Patel and close relatives of Rajmata Scindia's family were present at the program. With inputs from Ravindra Sharon, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time now to bring you the latest updates on the COVID-19 situation in the country. India continued the trend of steadily declining active cases, with the country reporting active caseload below 9 lakh for the fourth consecutive day. India recorded less than 70,000 new COVID cases in a single day for the first time since September 1st.
The number of patients who have recovered from COVID-19 touched 61.49 lakh on Monday. In the last 24 hours, 71,559 patients had recovered from the coronavirus. 66,732 new infections and 816 case fatalities in the last 24 hours. The national recovery rate has now gone up to 86.36%. Active coronavirus cases total 8.61 lakh, while recoveries exceed active infections by 52.87 lakh. Total infections now stand at 71.2 lakh, including 1,09,150 deaths. According to the ICMR, 8.78 crore samples have been tested so far, with 9.94 lakh samples tested on Sunday. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu reported the highest number of cases in the last 24 hours. Maximum deaths in the same period were reported from Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. Maharashtra, the worst hit state with over 15 lakh cases, has 2.2 lakh active cases, the highest in the country, followed by Karnataka, which has 1.20 lakh active cases. Kerala, which is reporting a high growth in cases, has 96,000 active cases. Union Health Minister Harshvardhan on Sunday informed that coronavirus vaccines currently are in various trial phases and the results are awaited. Explaining the sequence of distribution of COVID vaccines that are expected to be available in India, Harshvardhan said, priority will be given to those facing occupational hazards from the virus and the risk of developing severe disease and increased mortality. The minister also said that the much-awaited Feluda paper strip test is likely to roll out within the next few weeks.
Presently, COVID-19 vaccines are in the various stages of phase 1, 2 or 3 or bridging 2 or 3 clinical trial data generation, the results of which are awaited. Adequate safety and efficacy data is required for emergency use authorization, vaccine approval for ensuring patient safety. Further course of action will depend on the data generated.
While India is reporting a downward trend in its COVID-19 numbers, Health Minister Harshvardhan urged people to stay away from large and diligently follow COVID-19 guidelines during the upcoming festive season. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday tested negative for COVID-19. He was in home quarantine after testing positive for coronavirus on the 29th of September. An RT-PCR test was conducted by a medical team from AIIMS on Monday that came up negative for both the Vice President and his wife Usha Naidu. Vice President Naidu is in good health and is likely to resume normal activities soon as per the doctor's advice. Now, the Vice President thanked everyone for praying for his well-being. Moving on to other news now, the Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme 2020-21 Series 7 opened on Monday. It will open for subscription, or rather it will be open for subscription till October 16th. The scheme enables investors to buy gold at a comparatively lower price. The issue price for the sovereign gold bond has been fixed at 5,051 per gram of gold. The government has decided to offer a discount of 50 rupees per gram, less than the nominal value, to investors applying online. The bonds are restricted for sale to resident individuals Hindu undivided families, trusts, universities, and charitable institutions. Well, time to get you some news from poll-bound Bihar now, where the Election Commission on Monday informed that over 52,000 voters who are either senior citizens or are people with disabilities have opted for postal ballot in phase 1 of the Bihar elections. The first phase of polls will be held on October 28th. The remaining electors have preferred to visit the polling booth to cast their vote. The poll panel said that those who have opted for the facility would be provided postal ballots on a pre-informed date by the concerned returning officers with proper security and videography arrangements to ensure secrecy, safety, and transparency in the process. Moving on to other news now, the petition committee of the Rajya Sabha on Monday heard from the representatives of Mahanadi Coalfields Limited and ITC Limited. The mandate of the committee is to examine those petitions that are presented or reported to the House.
The Petitions Committee of the Rajya Sabha on Monday heard representatives of the Mahanadi Coalfields Limited and ITC Limited on a petition praying for streamlining corporate social responsibility activities in PSUs and MNCs. Corporate social responsibility on CSR is a concept wherein companies set aside funds to address social and environmental concerns. Members on the Petition Committee from the Upper House are Prasanna Acharya, Vandana Chavan, Dr. Narendra Jadhav, K. Ravindra Kumar, Satish Chandra Mishra, Ashwani Vaishnav, Ramkumar Verma, A. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Ami Yagnik, and Dr. L. Hanumantiya. Petitioning Parliament is one of the basic rights of every citizen. Rules of procedure and conduct of business in Rajya Sabha allow any citizen to petition the Rajya Sabha on any matter of general public interest that falls within the domain of the government, except matters that are sub judice. Petitions may relate to any other matter connected with the business pending before the Council. The committee offers petitioners the chance to explain their views on the case in person. It also submits a report to the House on its recommendations that receive due consideration of the appropriate ministry or department of Government of India. Anonymous petitions and petitions raising individual grievances or trivial matters are liable to be summarily rejected. Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs held its meeting on Monday. After the reconstitution of the 24 department-related parliamentary standing committees, Lok Sabha member P.P. Chowdhury has been appointed as the chairman of the committee.
The Standing Committee on External Affairs held its sitting on Monday. The committee considered the memorandum regarding the selection of subjects for examination during 2020-21. After the reconstitution of the committee, members on the Standing Committee on External Affairs from the Upper House are K.J. Alphonse, Jaya Bachchan, Misha Bharti, P. Chidambaram, Swapan Das Gupta, Ranjan Gogoi, Samcher Singh Manhas, Kapil Sibbal, and Abdul Wahab. Members from the Lower House on the committee are Abhishek Banerjee, Kalyan Banerjee, Kumar Pushpendra Singh Chandel, P.P. Chaudhary, Dileshwar Karnat, Suresh Kumar Kashyap, Praneet Kaur, Meenakshi Lekhi, G. Madhvi, Poonam Mahajan, P.C. Mohan, Chandrani Murmu, Ritesh Pandey, Dr. K.C. Patel, N.K. Premchandran, Navneet Ravi Rana, S. Babu Rao, M. Srinivas Reddy, Ram Sarup Sharma, and Rebati Tripura. The Standing Committee on External Affairs examines matters pertaining to the Ministry of External Affairs and institutions or organizations falling under its purview. From time to time, the chairperson and members of the Standing Committee on External Affairs meet various foreign parliamentary delegations visiting India to facilitate meaningful interaction and understanding on global and bilateral issues. Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Parliamentary Committee on Coal and Steel held its meeting on Monday. After the reconstitution of 24 department-related parliamentary standing committees, Lok Sabha member Rakesh Singh has been appointed as the chairman of the committee. In the meeting, the members also decided the future program of work of the committee.
The Standing Committee on Coal and Steel held its sitting on Monday. The committee considered the memorandum regarding selection of subjects for examination during 2020-21. After the reconstitution of the committee, members on the Standing Committee on Coal and Steel from the Upper House are Anil Desai, Dr. Vikas Mahatme, Venkatramanna Rao, Prashanta Nanda, Ram Vichar Netam, Samir Oraon, Dheeraj Prasad Sahu, Shibu Soren, Prabhakar Reddy Vemireddy, and B. Lingayya Yadav. Meanwhile, members from the lower house on the Coal and Steel Committee are B. Dhanorkar, Vijay Kumar, Kumar Hembram, Chandra Prakash Joshi, Soumitra Khan, C. Lal Losanga, S. Munniswamy, Ajay Nishad, B. K. Panda, Riti Pathak, Dr. L. S. Fauze, S. R. Pratibhan, K. Reddy Venkat Reddy, Chunnilal Sahu, Aruna Sao, Sunil Kumar Singh, Sushil Kumar Singh, Pashupati Nath Singh, Rakesh Singh, T.V. Toll, Dr. B. S. Venkata. The Ministries of Coal, Mines and Steel are within the jurisdiction of the Standing Committee on Coal and Steel. Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In other news, now train services came to a halt. Homes and businesses were without electricity and people sweltered in humid heat as a grid failure resulted in massive power outages across Mumbai on Monday morning. The outage, according to the city's electricity supply board, was because of the failure of a power grid. The power supply has been restored in most parts of the city. Mumbai Airport and the Stock Exchange were functional amid the outage. The Central and Western Line train services have also been restored. Western Railway said that the breakdown was due to a grid failure at Tata Power. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has ordered an immediate probe into the large-scale outage, which is unprecedented for the country's financial capital. Union Power Minister R.K. Singh said a central team is being sent to Mumbai to find out the cause of the outage. Well, American economists Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson have won the 2020 Nobel Economics Prize for improvements to auction theory and inventions of new auction formats. The new auction formats have benefited sellers, buyers, and taxpayers around the world. It is also used for radio spectra, fishing quotas, aircraft landing slots, and emission allowances. The prestigious award comes with a gold medal and a prize money of 10 million Swedish kronos. The Nobel Prizes for Medicine, Physics, Chemistry, Literature and Peace were handed out last week. This year, the traditional Nobel Prize banquet has been cancelled due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. However, the Norwegian Nobel Committee plans to go ahead with an award ceremony with a reduced capacity on December 10th in Oslo. And with that, it's a wrap from this telecast. But before we leave, we'd like to make an appeal to you. Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic.